Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. I'm the narrator of this video clip and every other video clip on my YouTube channel. Okay, for those that are new on my channel, my YouTube channel is in regards to my identity, my legal entity, and my intellectual properties, my ideas, my life as a person, anything that is tangible property, the existence of a person, meaning mine when alive on earth, and my documentation, evidence in court, and the facts in regards to my court cases. All these things are my personal property. And so basically today I will be just keeping the evidence in the moment, and because of the intimate sabotage, the intimate everything that is illegal, the intimacy involving me being used as for relationship scams and other money laundering purposes. Yes, I'll just keep the evidence in the moment. I'll start off with a quick introduction just to get you in the mindset where I'm coming from, and then on to the topic that's on my heart today. Okay guys, unfortunately my case is definitely a hostage taking system where I've been used for a pecuniary advantage historically, and that's not hard to prove. And I'm talking about home invasion, but this is kind of like a different type of home invasion. They're using the middleman system. So there's several perpetrators involved. My case, mixture with public scrutiny, and yeah, just they call themselves agencies. The thing is, they have no real identity. These people operate secretly by using people, their people in their jobs. So that's how they're operating, which is illegal, all right, and it's not safe. And if you don't know how to protect yourself from such people, they call themselves the secret societies. They call themselves agents. They also call themselves shadow people, but they do everything secretly. They're a law to themselves. They're making up their own laws, and from my personal experience, it is definitely a hostage-taking situation without consent, and also taking over somebody else's personal property or personal environment. Okay, historically, I didn't know this in the beginning years ago, but I was being used for Game of Thrones secretly without even me knowing, even though I knew in my environment at the time things weren't quite right, something wasn't right. I felt isolated, I felt exiled. There were times I felt victimized, but I didn't realize that I was actually being used secretly by secret societies where substitutes are glued to me in my workplace. Also, they're using their cars. Okay, these people are glued, they're in the mix, and my court case clearly articulates that it is a human trafficking ring that I'm subject to. These people are using their jobs, using their friends, their family, they're latching onto everybody that they can build a hate alliance on, and so that is what I've gone through historically. It's been so evil. They've actually dug up my past, and then the people that are liable for criminal offences are in my space with their friends and family, all conspiring to take me down, pin me down, and steal or help the real criminals get away. So they're like committing the offence, and then they're helping each other cover up or get away before they get caught, before the honest investigators actually come in place. So that is what has happened to me historically. So we're dealing with white collar and blue collar crimes, criminal offences, okay? It is an illegal commonwealth games. These people are retrieving our information, or my information. They've studied me for years, giving them that full advantage, and then they've also coded. So this is like nothing new, but the technology system has allowed these kind of things to happen to innocent civilians and their families, with honest people who are actually naive or oblivious to criminal intent, people with the wrong motives and intent. But we're dealing with people. I mean, some of these people are in prominent positions. We all know that, they have people in their lives, or families in their lives, who are linked to gangs, or or it's people in prominent position who are into white collar crimes, and that's all they've done. They've just mixing each other, or latching onto anybody that would help them. But then they've also coded people, so that makes it even more dangerous, because we're dealing with global breaches. Right, it's not just in New Zealand. We're talking about an illegal commonwealth game that is actually a sport. So for those that are new on board, quite clearly, if you watch all my other video clips, I have been used for relationship scams. So this here is my situation where individuals are actually concealed individuals, okay? And then the surveillancing and monitoring after an individual's gone through a certain process. The whole idea is to keep them pinned down, concealed, while other people are actually living their life and stealing their good fruits. Whereas people like myself, I am the victim of crimes because of all the continuous incidents that have occurred on and off over the years. But I have found that these people are lying. They're actually making up their own laws. And then they've also asked questions, knowing very well they're trying to create and evidence against myself. I have found that, and because of my experience, and I am very knowledgeable as far as the laws is concerned, and also as my rights as a human being. And these people are actually breaking the law. They're using the hub desk, where we would send information to the hub desk, and instead, I don't know where it goes, it just stays there. And then they have people contact me, different people contacting me, or the organization contacting me, and then they're asking me to fill out all these other forms, which, because I do know my rights as an individual, they do not have the right to any of those information. The things they were asking me were not even relevant to the reason why I was seeking for whatever it is I'm seeking, and because I know the laws. So it's a very serious case for everyone that is forced to stay online, and no one-on-one assist, no one-on-one personal contact with anybody. So these people are actually making up the laws, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why I'm putting everything in writing, submitting it to the courts, to the police, and to the agencies, because I can now prove that I've definitely been in a lockout situation since 2010, linking to my court cases. So I have found call centres. They've used different people for relationship scams. They've used me like a foot in the door, and then they twin and switch. But they are like using the call centres, or diverting the phone straight to the perpetrators that are stealing, or with the intent to steal. Okay, but this is what they are doing, and this is very serious because it's global. And we're dealing with, liars, deception, scam, and fraud, you name it. So what they're doing to me, everything good, they are stealing it and then giving it to someone else. Then they tell me I'm not good enough, but really they're actually stealing. So it's a very serious case of dehumanizing of a human being. So historically, my case now is dealing with body corporates, or every single body corporates that's involving myself are now may all become suspects because of what has happened to me historically. Okay, so we're dealing with I've been definitely used for money laundering, embezzlement, and also very serious other culpable crimes involving me, and the evidence on my personal profile is mixed match, and it is a sport. Okay, they're coding everybody. So I'm dealing with I'm the actual original versus the invisible. Okay, so they're using their jobs, they're using it's pure espionage, it's global, and I'm the competitor because I'm a threat. Okay, because of what they've done to me historically, and for them to not get caught or made accountable or be exposed globally. The only way they can do that is if I do not go, finalize everything criminally or get somebody else to help me or whatever. But the illegal project is illegal, but it is also a sport. Okay, so all the misuse of devices are being used in my case, and they're coding people. So today I will actually go through some of those videos that I'm going to denounce, and also what I have found on social media, and kind of interpret to use what I mean by coding from my profiles, a point of view, my interpretation of how they're coding me and how I know when they're talking about me. So I will do that today. It's all on the internet though, so it could be different for everyone, but the danger is they're glued. They've treated me like a product, and so they are making decisions whether to decline you, or they know automatically who you are, so you're automatically blacklisted or on a black market. But what you need to do is build up evidence and then take it through the legal system like I have. All right, guys, definitely it's quite obvious that they've used me for relationship scams. So they're trying to blame the situation. If the victim gets murdered, they can, those behind the scene can say, well, it's crimes of passion. Okay, yes, as part of it is, but with my case, they've used relationships scam, like they've just taken turns. So it's not just crimes of passion, it's actually worse than that. Okay, so I'm using Henry Cavill and my story, or our current situation in the moment, to prove factual facts of this is what has been going on historically, and all they've done is join forces behind the scene to keep me pinned down, while they continuously use me for money laundering and to twin and switch and steal. So everyone within my environment that are an original is at risk if you're not aware of what's going on. So today I will continue to denounce Natalie Voskiso and all those other women linking to the government. Okay, it's my right to do that, and I'm going to continue doing that as long as God gives me air to breathe. I feel I'm within my right to get my legal case done properly. I'm the original. No one can actually interpret what I've gone through accurately other than myself, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, guys, so keep in mind the case is against the state. So you can't be an offender and you can't be the victim. So at this point of time, the offenders in my case are the state, and the people that are liable are these people that are using by the perpetrators. Okay. Also keep in mind not everybody in the state are the offenders. Not everyone's into these kind of things, and others have gone along with it without even realizing they are breaking the law. But they are breaking the law, and it is a criminal alliance. It is a global game linking to Hollywood. We're talking about these people call themselves agencies, and they're operating through other human beings. So it's actually, it comes under, just one moment. All right, guys, I just might as well, I'm on the topic. I will confirm it is definitely organized crimes. Okay. The other thing I must mention, they've actually used me to change the laws. So I feel I'm obligated to do this for the sake of those that don't know the changes. But trust me, the experienced criminal judges and the experienced criminal barristers will bring back the old system for the safety of the public and those working for the government. Okay, so I'm dealing with this. My case falls in trafficking in people by means of coercion and deception. This here, I believe, was set out for public and global games like they've used me for. So I'm a witness to it. It is 20 years imprisonment. In fact, this law here is a different law. It's called trafficking in people by means of coercion and deception. So that is 20 years imprisonment or $500,000 fine, okay? But it's a case-by-case basis. So my case has been going on. It's a historical case, and I've actually sued them. Each body corporate, the law clearly indicates $10 million because of the historical nature. But in saying that, it can be more than that depending on who is the judge. And like I said, it's a case-by-case basis. But this is just for this charge alone. Okay, this is not including any other charges. So we're talking about people trafficking in people by means of coercion and deception. This is what I have gone through personally, making my case a very serious, critical case, because they're tormenting me. They've glued themselves to my soul, and the intimacy is wrong. Okay, no one should be doing that to anybody, but that is what they're doing. Okay, so this here is trafficking in persons. It's a different, separate charge. Yeah, the wording is different. All right. And this here is also 20 years imprisonment. See right here. Okay, so I'm not making up anything on my channel. My experience is a criminal jurisdiction. My first job working for the courts was as a deputy court registrar in the jury trials depositions. So I did murder cases, sexual violation cases, serious fraud cases, you name it, I've done it all. I've seen it, and my case is definitely 100% falls in that category. But we're dealing with internal and external offences, breaches, and global illegal using somebody for games. All right, guys, I've had to denounce this video clip again. Okay, this here is an imposter, and that is the real Natalie, and that looks like her Henry's father. Okay, but the Hollywood, they do this. What they're doing to him, that is what they do. But Henry, the real Henry Cavill, hasn't consented to it. Obviously, because there's money involved. Okay, so people think that the real Henry Cavill is cheating on me, okay? But it's not true. Okay, this is the new age government system, which is illegal, and I have to say that it's taken all this time to actually reveal the truth of what they've done to me historically, which is illegal, right? So they're trying to make out that this is the real Henry Cavill, but I can confirm, and I promise you guys, he's not the real Henry Cavill. He is the imposter. on behalf or pretending to be Henry Cavill. Okay, so we're talking about the middleman system and the Hollywood system. They PR are the people that linking to Hollywood are the ones that are organizing all these things. Okay, so he is not with Natalie Risky, so and he has no intention in the future to be married to her, and as far as the child is concerned, that is not even confirmed if it is his child. Okay, he still denies it, but as we know, the rich man will only care about the money, but what is wrong about what's going on is the deception to the public, and what is causing havoc to the originals involved. And I'm standing against what they're doing because I have not consented to it. Obviously, I'm worth a lot of money, and I'm also fighting for my personal property and anything to do with me as a human being or as an individual. Okay, so I'm also denouncing the, these tariff readers. Obviously, they're, all part of it. They all think that is the real Henry Cavill. So that is what they're doing. Okay, they're these people are making money out of it. But what they're actually doing, if it's causing somebody else hardship or can't go forward or stealing their good fruits, it's wrong. Okay, and linking to my court case, it's wrong. So I'm denouncing all that, and Henry knows that I will be doing this because I have to, for the sake of those watching me and watching over me, and because my situation is 100% duress. Okay, I mean, the intimacy is so wrong. They are sabotaging all my applications, but they're also stealing. Okay, they're making me apply for things, and they're actually stealing my documentations. They're stealing my court cases. They've stolen my life, basically. So keep in mind that the defendants in my case, the Crown is representing the defendants in my cases. So they, according to the law, they are the offenders. And the other thing I have found is that the Crown is also using the government, the platform on social media to code and tip off everyone, which makes it really unfair. So today I'm just going to kind of like go over what I would interpret as coding. If you don't know what coding, what criminal alliances do, if you go on Netflix and look up, research on World War One and World War Two, and also September 11th, when those plane crashes and they, ended up all those people got murdered. It's the same kind of a tactic they are doing to individuals or to people's businesses through privacy breaches. So once they study a person, they are actually coding them. Okay, so they've coded me historically, they've stolen off me historically. So there's definitely clear evidence of home invasion. Okay, so the system is set out to dehumanization of a human being. So they are glued and cleaved to my soul, my acts, everything I do, and the intimacy is so wrong, it's illegal. Okay, so this here is the intimacy. This is actually the real me now. Okay, this is a photo just taken of me. I think it's this month or last month. It's recent. It's a recent photo. This is a recent one of him too. This is him just on recovery. So I've just put our story together, obviously, for the sake of our own safety and our truths being told, obviously, but the intimacy is so wrong. People are sabotaging my application in order to help the substitute. So in this case, the people that I'm being that is opposing ally are all those women on behalf of whoever's using them globally to convince the public of a crime or who to choose. But in a criminal case, it's a glued, like the intimacy is so wrong, it's so illegal. So this is the new age system linking to my court cases and anything monetary. Unfortunately, this is my personal experience, what they've done to me. Okay, they're sapping the life out of me and stealing anything good. At the same time, they, the negative alliances, it's inhumane. That's all I can say. And that's what it actually looks like behind the scene. There are several perpetrators, okay, linking to the government. They call themselves agency. It's all about money, okay, and it's all about stealing without getting caught. Okay, guys, it's an inhumane system where they are using individuals as a robot. So to them, they just see me as an object. So the whole intent and motive intent is that they are going to eliminate me. And this is, or that's their motive and the criminal intent they have. So that's why I'm very cautious at the decisions that I make involving anything to do with people who has anything to do with me. Because I know that sometimes they're lying to me, but unfortunately, the intent is, involves they do want to end my life, because to them they've used me for a pecuniary advantage historically, and they are stealing and they are using relationship scam. But this system cannot operate without the misuse of devices, and they cannot operate also without being able to use other people to traffic them. Okay, so this is what they're doing, but because I'm so efficient and I'm a very honest person, it's not going to be hard to actually, put the case together and press criminal charges against whoever is liable. Okay, guys, so you all know that I've got a court case at the moment against the New Zealand Police, an IPCA case. Because I've been consistent with what I'm doing. I haven't done anything different except just being consistent with my complaints to prove human trafficking by force. But unfortunately, in New Zealand Police and IPCA, which is Independent Police Code of Conduct, are now liable for criminal offences of causing death that may have that could have been prevented. This is actually a law. The other thing that they are liable for is impeding rescue, and they are also liable for perverting the course of justice, plus the other body corporates involving what I've gone through. Okay, guys, so I've got this case going on at the moment, but I've also been consistently still lodging complaints with the police. They are hostile towards me sometimes, and they are sneakingly making things difficult for me. They're causing stress. They know I have high blood pressure problems. That's not that's nothing new, but the stress they're causing me is intentional. So if I die of a heart attack, that is culpable homicide. But it's continuously, there's clear evidence of me being black market or blacklisted intentionally by body corporates. So I've had to kind of you know, because I do know my laws and my rights, I've had to contest everything, and I feel like I'm complaining all the time. But it is a very critical case because I can't go forward, and they are depriving me of things that I am entitled to as an individual. Okay, guys. So I've had to put in another complaint with the police. Okay. And I just had to remove my address, obviously, because they are inciting, because they're collecting information and then they're inciting and tipping everybody off. But this here is the actual incident report. Oops. Let's undo that. I'm sure you guys saw that. That leader there only just did it this week. Let's just go have a look. Yeah, I submitted a letter because it was to do with a review of an application because they're declining me in order to help the opposing allies. So I'm very concerned about the intentional sabotage, okay, by body corporates. I had medical certificates in relation to what I'm going through because I needed. The doctor knows that I'm under tremendous stress. I've been personally victimized. So I had a medical certificate to go on the sickness benefit, but they've declined that. Okay, so what my concern about what they're doing is that even though the doctor's given a medical certificate by law, they are not actually meant to question, or make decisions or categorize people or as far as a sickness benefit is concerned or whatever it is. That is not for what we work in income is according to the laws. Denying people from what they're entitled to. But why I'm doing what I'm doing is because historically people have stolen my identity, but they're also using me for tax invasion. So the things that I'm entitled to, they're stealing it and giving it to somebody else. So that is fraud, and that's another reason why I'm being consistent with what I'm doing. Okay, so we're dealing with white-collar crimes and blue-collar crimes. If you don't know what that is, it's people in fiduciary duties using their jobs, their occupation for the wrong reason. So they have blacklisted me or they know it's me in advance, but the environment for me has been very distressful because they know it's me and they're doing their indirect psychological abuse in my space, intentionally. It's not normal what they're doing. It's illegal. It's trafficking. Not only that, they're using different people all the time. And they've also, it's been so dangerous for me that they've even put, the people that have committed offences against me in my space, or people that should be made liable. They've put their friends and family in my space, whether it's in their occupation or whether it's within the public environment. So that is really serious. Only last week I caught the bus and I recognised one of the women sitting in the bus as one of the people involved in, she was one of the reasons why I ended up getting derailed from my job, and I lost my job in 2015. But I ended up taking that to the employment process, and I won the case, and I ended up resigning. Well, I actually wanted my job back, but they wouldn't give it back to me, so that proves that they had intent of getting rid of me anyway. Okay, so I'm dealing with unlawful strikes. Okay, so for those that don't know what an unlawful strike is, they are judgments made by judges or medical practitioners making fraudulent information about my mental health or about my health or my well-being. I'm contesting all that. Okay, and that is what I've got another hearing coming up, so I've been busy with that because they're sabotaging me, and so I'm just consistently lodging that with the police. and they're not being very nice at the counter, and I find it's just so stressful. And I had a little bit of an encounter with the lady at the counter. She was not very nice. She wouldn't give me an incident report, obviously, because I knew it's me. And she told me to go online and put the report on there, and I said, no, I've been doing that for the last 9 years. I'm blacklisted, nothing's happened, so I'm coming in and lodging these complaints, and then I'm going to exhibit them and put them all together for my criminal court case, because I was just furious. Like, I've just had enough.